Okay, take a dead log and whisk it. There you go. It goes. Welcome to Escape Route, my friends, your portal to a self-reliant freedom. In today's video, I'll show you how to build this unique survival fire starter. This is an original DIY build. It's never seen before on YouTube or anywhere else. In fact, this is the whole point of the channel, to bring to you new and original ideas regarding survival technology. Stay tuned as I release a new video every 3 weeks on a Friday night. Now, let's get to it. I'll show you how to build this. It's very easy. Okay, so this is about that's about right. So, if you're wondering what this is that I'm holding, it's a umbrella spoke. Whoops a doodle. If we need a harder spring, we'll change it. We'll see. Where is my flint? Flint, where are you, flint? So this is my piece of flint. It's a ferro rod, okay, from previous project. And we're going to see what is the necessary lengths. Let's leave it longer and we'll fill it up with wood. It's very good. I like it. Now for the next step. I gotta solder this in place. I have to mark it. Now let's mark the other part as well. Okay. That should be it. So what I discovered in this part, the hard way, is that if your hand trembles even a little bit, you will not be able to solder the pieces. So you need something to
fix them together. Otherwise you will have one up, one below, and it will not sit straight. It's no good. So the quick fix that I found is just use some uninsulated copper wire because it also helps with the soldering. And we'll use this wire to fix our pieces together, which will hold much better.
Let's make sure they are aligned, okay? Now we can solder. So this is the finished product. So it fits. Okay, now let's do our first test. Let's try first with the pencil. This is good. So we're going to use the screwdriver to apply pressure on the spring. The grooves are not... Okay, so we're going to build an adjuster for this. Basically this has a fillet in the inside for this screw. And this is going to fit in here. You're going to see in a moment. Grinding and grinding. You know, a man is happy when he's grinding something, right? If he's in the build process, he's happy. Okay, and now this bolt fits inside here. Okay, you can screw it on. And this is your tensioner. You adjust the tension according to your spring and according to the sparks that you need to do. Okay. And I forgot to put the spring inside, so we're gonna put the spring inside also with the flint. Okay. Let's tweak it up to the max. Oh, nice. Now we're getting somewhere. Another turn. Oh, did you see that? Another turn.
So the further I tested, I discovered that the sparks were going lower and lower.
Another turn.
This is because the bearing steel could not hold an edge for longer. Even if the bearing steel is hard, you could say so, it's not hard enough. So eventually I decided to give it one more shot. And
the Igniter 1000. So because it has only horizontal grooves, as you can see here, it holds. See, the wind, so the wind will not spin very easily. And when I use the metal grinder, these are not tangential. They are not perfectly straight to the. They are at an angle. Okay, they are at an approximately 45-degree angle. So in one direction, you can feel it. It catches your thumb, but in the other direction, it goes a bit more smooth. And this is why in one direction it goes easily, but it creates no sparks or very little sparks, as you can see. See, very little sparks. But in the other direction, when I switch it, it creates more sparks. See, because this is the direction in which the grooves are grinded. Okay. So my idea is right now to use a diamond disc, a diamond cutting disc, or it's from Temu. We'll try it out, see how it works. And we're going to grind some grooves in a V shape, sort of like in a vegetable razor. We're here to test. That's what this channel is all about. Just do it yourself. Don't believe anything until you test it yourself. Especially what I see on YouTube, I rarely believe, because 99% of it is fake. Especially with AI now, you don't know what's what. This doesn't do anything. So I'm going to use the grinder again. It's the only way. Okay, so this is actually the first V shape that I managed to do. It's not quite aligned, but all I want to do is a quick test. Let's put some waxed jute in it, and we'll find out if it ignites. Looks okay. Let's give it a test. Let's try again. So I see the sparks flying, but there are loads of sparks flying around, but none of them seem to land what they should. Okay, so I'm not very happy with this, I must say, because when the bearing was really sharp, just so you know what I've did, so I've used this diamond disc to resharpen the grooves on the bearing, and as you've seen in the first try, it did ignite because this wheel was very sharp. So the steel from the bearing had sharp grooves, and it bite really well into the magnesium rod, into the ferro rod. Made some good sparks and ignited our jute. But now, after some tests, it does not make sparks anymore, as you can see. So the bearing doesn't really function as good as it looks. Okay, I'm going to give it one more try I'm going to tighten the spring and see if we can ignite the rope one more time. But I doubt it, honestly. Let's see. There were some sparks that landed directly on the jute, but they did not ignite. Let's try again. Hey, nice. That's a good sign. Let's try again. If it works, and the second time, I'm happy. Again, let's try again. So it makes some really good sparks, but they do not land on the jute properly, and maybe they are too small. Okay, so we've tried quite enough times, and it's not really as reliable as starting it the regular way by striking your ferro rod. So we're going to give it one last try using this store-bought Zippo flint wheels. Okay, so for this purpose I did buy these two Zippo flint wheels. We're going to use them to change the bearing with them and see if this standard Zippo standard creates better sparks than our bearing. Let's see. Let's test. Not quite the perfect fix I was hoping for. Okay, so we've mounted the Zippo wheels, two of them. Let's see if they do something. Looks better actually than the... So they might actually do something. Ooh! Boy, this is totally different. Let me do that again. Whoa, I can feel the heat in my hand. It's incredible. I like it. Let's test.
So now, as you can see, the sparks are really big and they are continuous compared to the bearing. It's a totally different situation and this will work brilliantly. Now, unfortunately, I did film in slow-mo continuously after this take. So I wasn't aware that there was no sound and I was still filming in slow-mo. And I did catch a few good shots in the end, but there was no sound. So eventually I went outside to do a real field test with the new fire starter. And I catch some really impressive images using the slow-mo. I really enjoyed this one. Well, so the first tests speak for themselves. It was a really cold day, but we had some fire. I did test the next day to do another take.
So let's test it out. Let's make the fluff. After I've super glued the wheels together, it works much better, I have to say. Before, if the wheels are not super glued together, then one will go up, one will go down, and they will split, and it will not make uniform sparks on your ferro rod, okay? So make sure you super glue them together and it will work brilliantly. Okay, do the fluff. And I noticed it doesn't need to be very close to the wheel. If you leave a little bit of space, I don't know, it breathes better. Okay, take a dead log and whisk it. There you go. It goes. Let's try again without doing anything. If the fibers are not fine enough, it will not catch fire. The sparks are still very small. So you have to fluff it again. You have to make the fibers really fine. Nice. So it really depends on where the sparks land. If the sparks land in a good place, then you're good. The Igniter 1000 works very well, I might say. But let's test it out with a little bit of water. What do you say? Will it still ignite if we put it in water? Let's see. Let's see if it works after being dipped in water. The wheels are wet and they do not create a spark anymore. Let's try first to dry out the wheels. I'm going to try first to make some sparks. Seems to be making some sparks. Oh, let's try it out. I'm quite curious to see if it will ignite. I think that's enough. If it makes sparks, I think that's a go. Let's see. 1 second, let's just make some adjustments. Here we go. It did work after all. So you just need, and when you have a fire, you can dry it out like this. You can dry out your flint. I like it. The Igniter 1000 works really well. This is the kookiest and wackiest fire starter I've ever made. It started as a joke, but it's actually useful, I might say. I mean, look at it. It's windproof, and it's just been dipped in water. So you just need to dry out these wheels before turning it a few times, and it actually works. See you in the next one, my friends. Like and subscribe.